What's up, everybody? It's the Four Horsemen Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 26, our Week 14 preview. Today is December 7th, 2016. My name is Josh Romine. With me tonight, I got Joshua Van Cleve. How you doing, my man?
Football.
Yes, football. We're back. I got Brent Walker. What's up, dude? Hi, Brent.
Nothing.
Brent froze again. And got Alex DeVinny Stoner. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
It's not. We haven't gotten off to the best of starts tonight. So
We missed last week.
yeah,
It's taken us an hour to get started.
And last week we legitimately tried to get on here. At first, freaking YouTube wouldn't even let us log on and start up the
what was
broadcast. Yeah, and then the next night, just nobody answered. I think everybody fell asleep at like 8:00. So
That's for sure.
but I'm glad that we're back talking again. I even did like a whole show preview last week, had everything written out, and then freaking nothing. But whatever, we're here now. We'll do our regulars. We'll do our fantasy stock watch. We'll do my random question. We'll get into some fantasy talk, and then we'll talk a little DFS. So first of all, I'm gonna pose my random question, which is not so random. It's playoff time right now in fantasy football, and I want to know what you guys think is like the right ratio of teams making the playoffs. Like depending on your league makeup, it can change. But so say like a standard 10 or 12 team league, how many teams do you want to make it?
Well, I mean, if you have a 10, I think you can only put in 4. It has to be half or less. Like I don't think you want more than half. So whichever way that shifts. So if you have a 12-team league, you go 6. If it's if you have a a 10, then you go 4. But it just depends on how that goes.
Yeah.
I agree with. I tend to agree with that too. That's what I was going to say, either half or less. But if it has to be even numbers, it's going to be less. If it falls on an odd number.
So for a 12-team league, you're starting your playoffs this week. 10-team league, you think you wait another week and do it?
Yeah.
Just do 4 teams. I think that sounds about right. Do you prefer a lesser like amount of teams, or do you prefer more? Just what you enjoy.
As
like
far
in
as like
terms of total league size.
Well, we've discussed this about our Pride League and like I'm for having more teams, but I also at least our league has been very competitive. So I think that the more teams you have, the likelihood of separation occurring. So it's kind of, about halfway through the season, you kind of know who's going to be making the playoffs and who's not. Whereas in a smaller amount, you're going to the end. I think that because all the teams are so stacked. So I think that it kind of depends, but there's good things about each. And yeah, my kid's going to just like pop in randomly.
Yeah. Also we're joined by Lucy tonight. Lucy, what's up?
Yeah. You doing good? No, don't press the button.
But yeah, I don't know. I just was thinking like also in terms of like your regular season, I don't know how I feel about playoffs as much anymore. Like I've been talking to some people that do like just a straight season with no playoffs, which I don't think I'd enjoy that, but they just don't do any playoff system at all. You just go off your regular winner at the end of the year. So I don't know. I think there needs to be some sort of prize for being the best regular season team, and then an ultimate grand prize for winning your playoffs. But winning your regular season is a big deal. I don't care what anybody says. But let's go ahead and move on to our fantasy stock watch. The stock is up on Thomas Rawls. Last week against the Panthers, Rawls went for 106 yards on 15 rushes and scored twice. Van Cleve, is he back?
there's really nobody behind him, to be honest with you. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be the old Thomas Rawls. I think that the offense is finally clicking, but that's typical with the Seahawks at the end of the season. They're finally start to click together. It's going to be – I wonder, though, how much – I know they want to run the ball, but they got into a kind of a passing system, with getting Jimmy Graham involved. So I don't know if that's going to change back to the running game or if it's going to stay maybe more balanced, which may actually help out Rawls' stock a little bit more. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he can see him. You can have some good production out of him.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now,
Okay,
man.
good. So yeah, I think Thomas Rawls is more of a beneficiary of a really good matchup because against the Panthers last week, he rushed for what was it, 103 yards in just the first half, then had 3 yards after the half. He did not have a good second half at all. But Panthers were missing Luke Kuechly. They were missing Kurt Coleman, their safety, and he's really good with run stopping as well. So I think he was more of the beneficiary of a good matchup.
Yeah, are the Panthers going to be a defense that you can beat up on for the rest of the year, you
I
think?
think so because they're so hurt. They're playing rookies on the ends, like on the their cornerbacks are both rookies, so you can really exploit those matchups. Their defense is not what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean their pass defense hasn't been good all year, but their front line had always been pretty good. But with Kuechly out, especially like leading that team and being able to move players around to stop different formations, I think that you're probably right. Let's move on to the next guy though. Stocks up on Ladarius Green. With all the drama that he went through, it was great to see him back on the field and playing, actually getting some more snaps in there than the previous week. He actually had 6 catches for 110 yards and scored a touchdown. Obviously, do you think first of all, do you think that he is the tight end to own in Pittsburgh, which I would hope so? And then how much fantasy relevance do you think he's going to have, Alex, moving forward for the rest of the season?
I think it has a lot of fantasy value just simply because of the team that he's playing for. So I think that he's kind of somebody that came along toward the end, and especially if you're a Gronkowski owner who you've lost him for the playoffs, you're not going to have him. He could be kind of that big play guy, like he could have those big games in a if there are only a few guys out there that can put up those kind of numbers, and I think that Ladarius can. So I think that he's a good pickup if he hasn't already been picked up. But I think going forward, he's probably a starter.
He's always had a ton of upside too,
Yeah.
and you have Ben Roethlisberger throwing him the ball now, who is a constant deep play threat, a constant big play threat. I mean, he's going to be big, I think. Easily, probably a back end tight end one, easily.
Yeah, I can see that. It's, like we said, we've been preaching his upside for the last couple of years. We thought it was going to happen last year with Gates getting older. And then when he went to Pittsburgh, it was real exciting. And then the headaches and the whatever else he had. The headaches was the scariest thing to me. But it looks like he's back, and hopefully he can finish out this season and stay healthy. The stock is down on Devontae Booker, though. He's going to be splitting times with the newly acquired Justin Forsett, I think he'd spent time with Kubiak before, so he should have a little bit idea of the system. Capri Bibbs, I believe, had a high ankle sprain. Is that what it was? Doesn't look like too good for him. Can you start
He was
Booker?
placed on IR, so
Okay, yeah, so he's done. Yeah. Can you start Booker, though? Like, you feel okay doing it? Or?
I no longer feel good about
No.
starting Booker. He squandered away his opportunity. He was looking so good when C.J. Anderson was the starter.
Yep.
He earned his spot as the starter, and then once he got there, he just squandered it. It's gone.
Well, and the problem is that Capri Bibbs was doing the exact same thing. Like, he was doing what Booker was doing at the beginning of the season, where he looked great. Like, he would have 4 or 5 carries for almost 50 yards, and you're thinking, okay, this is the next guy. Well, then, like you said, Booker got the job, and then it just kind of disappeared. And I don't know because C.J. Anderson kind of started to fizzle too. So I don't know if there's an issue running the ball, like over the entire game, but it's not working.
Maybe it's the air up there in Denver. It's just killing them. They have no stamina. They can't stay healthy. I don't know. I wouldn't feel good about Booker, though, which is kind of disappointing because he was one of those guys, you thought maybe you had somebody. He's an older rookie, but I think Dynasty people were pretty pumped when they were picking him up and thinking that he could be something.
And I think he still could be. He still has all the skill set that you like in a running back. He's kind of a power runner. He's got good speed. He's got good pass catching ability. But with him not producing, especially fantasy wise, it's hard to start him.
Yeah. And until they get some better quarterback play, it's going to be even tougher too. Um, I think that I think the offense needs better quarterback play, and maybe they'll get it with Paxton Lynch coming in and starting this week.
Is he
Um,
for sure starting? Is
I
that
thought they named him the starter. I
is it
could
a
be
done
wrong.
deal?
I heard a source that say that. I could be wrong though. Um, but having Justin Forsett, no Kubiak system because Kubiak was offensive coordinator in Baltimore when Forsett had that good year. So him knowing basically Kubiak system, knowing how that works, I think that he could jump right in and maybe have success. I'm not sure. Depends on how that offensive line holds up for him. But it's a possibility. You could definitely start to take carries away from him though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be rushing out to pick up Forsett though.
No, I'd probably, if you're desperate, and see how he plays out this week, I wouldn't start
Yeah,
him this week by any means, unless I saw something, and it's getting down to crunch time with his playoffs. It'd be tough for me to like trust him. But if you're desperate and trying to make something happen, I guess.
yeah. All right. That's gonna do it for a fantasy stock watch. Hop on Twitter, follow us. We're at the Four Horsemen. It's at Four Horsemen Pod on Twitter. You can also email us at not the Four Horsemen Pod at gmail.com. It's so damn confusing. I should have put a the on there or something. I don't know. And
Just
I'm
write it down on a
blaming
piece of paper and hold it up to the
yeah,
Well,
but
that's not
not
going to
for all
transfer.
of our
That's not going to transfer.
viewers.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not going to transfer for the podcast.
this I'm not gonna lie, there's been times this has been a real shit show of a podcast, but we are gonna
All
get better at
right,
it, and
get that train rolling here.
we're gonna roll it into like we're not gonna stop when this season's over. We're not stopping. This is gonna continue through the off season. We haven't not even finalized anything or talking about what we're gonna do, but this is gonna get better. It's gonna get smoother, and we're gonna take that brand and take it off. But let's move it into our week 14 fantasy talk. We're going to do the same thing that we did a couple weeks ago when we talked about the groups of games. So the first group of games I broke down was Raiders at Chiefs, which is the Thursday night game, and then Redskins at Eagles, Texans at Colts, Bengals at Browns, Broncos at Titans. My first question I want to pose to you guys: Tyler Boyd versus Tyreek Hill.
I think that the big thing is that Tyreek Hill I think has more potential to blow up. I think he has a higher potential to really see those because they're not only just passing with him or with as a receiver, but they're also doing stuff out of the backfield. Kind of, he almost seems like he's a little bit of a better Cordero Patterson. Because they're running plays out of the backfield. They're, kind of trying to get them the ball any way they can. Tyler Boyd just kind of seems vanilla to me. I don't know. There's just something about him that just kind of bores me. Not a whole lot of spark to me. I just haven't seen a whole lot.
Yeah. Do you think though that maybe this week Tyler Boyd could be a little bit safer than Tyreek Hill? I mean, the Bengals are playing the Browns.
Well, but the Chiefs are playing Oakland.
Yeah, but I don't know. Brandon LaFell's injured. If he plays, I guess I feel a little bit less on it, but
I don't know. I feel like the opportunity has been there for Boyd to do some great things. He could be that guy that he couldn't outplay Brandon LaFell. Okay, and you're talking about the Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones having no problem getting ridiculous numbers because they're on the other side of AJ Green. I just don't see a whole lot coming from him. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that Tyler Boyd is more of a possession guy. He was kind of that, at the combine coming into the draft. He was just kind of drafted as a possession guy more so. And then the other rookie, Tyreek Hill, is just more of a playmaker in general. You give him the ball in space, he makes stuff happen.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, one comment it would be Tyreek Hill is utilized more versatilely. He's in the punt return, so he has opportunity to score there and score some points, as well as in the backfield or as a receiver too. So I think that Tyreek Hill has the better upside and better of a, even though he's like big play kind of guy, I think he still has a better floor than Boyd does because of all the ways that the Chiefs use him.
Yeah, he's definitely good too. Fast. Tyreek Hill's good. We'll give him that. All right, so it looks like we like Tyreek Hill better this week. Next one.
One thing I had to jump in. I really am a fan of Tyreek Hill, the player, but oh my gosh, have you read what he did?
No.
Oh my God, it's
Wasn't
not
that what we were
oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It is like garbage human being kind of stuff.
I don't want to talk about it
terrible.
because it's going to piss
so
me
bad.
off. Like,
It's so bad.
Man.
Tyler Boyd.
There's a special place in hell for people that punch their pregnant girlfriend in the stomach.
All right, I like
you just now the podcast just derailed. All right, guys, plan B. Let's start.
Oh Jesus!
Well, that was cut. No, sorry, I was going to go with that was tough.
Yeah,
Kid's fine.
Good,
Kid's totally fine.
That's good.
She was only 8 weeks pregnant too. It's not like I don't even know if they knew. I don't know what it was. And my kid's playing guitar.
What a piece of shit. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. I don't want to talk about them anymore. It's garbage. Lamar Miller versus Latavius Murray versus Jeremy Hill. Anybody feel strongly about
Jeremy Hill? I like, or Lamar Miller. I know Lamar Miller had a great outing versus the Colts last game. I say Lamar Miller because he's got the talent, but Jeremy Hill can be able to score it. I think if they're going up against the Browns, he may have. I think he's going to have a good game. He's got no one else to take the carries with him.
I mean, what's the weather going to be like up there in Cleveland? Does anybody know? We were talking about snow in Fort Wayne, but
I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe lake effect stuff, but it'll be cold. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent?
I like what Latavius Murray's been doing the last few weeks. He's really kind of secured that role in the backfield of Oakland. And with their high-powered offense, yeah, I mean, he's right there on the goal line, ready to score every time. Mm-hmm. It seems like he's got more touchdowns. I think he has more touchdowns. And the thing I'd say about Lamar Miller is one of his only good games this entire season came against the Colts. Mm-hmm. And this time it'll be in Indy. And Lamar Miller looked good, looked real good against Indy last time. So I think he has a good matchup still in this game.
Because he is real good, but he's just totally screwed by the quarterback play.
There's supposed to be snow on Sunday.
In Cleveland?
Yeah, there's 80% chance precipitation.
So, I mean, it could be a big Jeremy Hill game. That's if I had to take those three, like, I don't know. I feel like he's almost the most sure thing, which is scary to say, but the most sure thing out of all of them. Lamar Miller's been injured. Latavius Murray,
who knows? Colts could be, game planning because, they saw that was a weakness last matchup. So they maybe say, all right, Brock, throw on us, see what you do. Real quick, this is Latavius' contract year. Do you think he's put up a performance to get a re-sign there?
I don't know. I mean, we've all thought that Oakland hates him anyways.
Well, but the thing is that it seems like they can't get the other guys going either. So I think that anything, maybe it's Jalen Richard, but I don't know.
Oh. Well, they're going to have to pay him because he'll get some money somewhere. He'll get a good contract. But all right, next one I got, guys. Amari Cooper versus T.Y. Hilton.
This one's a little tough. Houston does have a decent secondary, but so does Kansas City Chiefs, and now they got Houston back, and so that adds to the pass rush on that.
Yeah.
I really see a Crabtree game here for them, to be honest with you. I almost want to say Hilton on this one, but that's just me.
Hilton looked good.
Hilton
Monday
looked good
night.
this year.
He's good. Amari Cooper, though, I just feel like, I don't know. Just at any time, I feel like he could, go for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. But
That's the thing, though. Both of these guys have just such an enormous ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
these two guys alone are up there in the top 5 for highest ceilings, I think,
Yeah.
on any given week.
Yes.
I don't think that there's really a wrong pick here. I think that you can make a case for both of these guys. And I think that you're probably going to get, a touchdown or 2, or I mean, in the case of last week, 3 by Dwayne Allen. But Moncrief usually kind of Michael Floyd's it up and gets like 30 yards and a touchdown. But Ty has been the go-to guy. I think that there is a little bit more of a possibility of targets being taken away because of Crabtree's presence for Cooper. So I think that's if you're really trying to split hairs here, I think I would edge towards Hilton just because of that.
But they're both must starts.
Yeah.
You have to start both of them if you own either one of them. If you own both, even better.
Yeah, if you have both of these guys, man, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I was thinking almost a little bit more towards daily, like just if you were gonna start.
Oh,
If you're gonna go daily. I'd probably Ty because I can see him getting more possessions. So maybe that's just an edge right there. And Luck's going to figure out this defense. They play him twice a year, so I think Luck will have a little bit better of so does, I guess, Raiders and Chiefs do, but I think Luck in the lineup, I think gives you a little more of an edge.
Yeah, like Alex said, I don't think you can really go wrong. But all right, next one I want to ask you guys. Travis Kelce's been playing really well. Can't score, but has tons of volume. Tyler Eifert has been playing pretty well as well. Looking good over there on the Bengals. And once again, another Bengals player going against the Browns. Which one of those guys would you lean towards?
I mean, Kelsey has just been phenomenal the last 3-4 weeks, but I think a lot of that has to do with Jeremy Maclin being out of the lineup due to injury. He is supposed to return this week, so we'll see how that affects Kelsey's performance. Maybe not performance, but fantasy-wise, let's see how much production that takes away from him. But Tyler Eifert going against the Browns, no A.J. Green again. I still think Eifert gets volume there and can – I mean, he's easily the biggest red zone option for the Bengals at this point.
Yeah, Eifert could be I feel like the best tight end option this week on daily.
And he's probably cheaper than Kelsey for daily.
And I think DraftKings, I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. It's a Thursday night game, so unless you're playing all the slate, not just the Sunday games, but could be. All right, let's move into our next group of games. I got the Cardinals at Dolphins, Bears at Lions, Steelers at Bills, Chargers at Panthers, and Vikings at Jaguars. First one, Tyrell the Gazelle Williams versus Golden Tate, who I assume is going to be Marvin Jones-less again this week. I don't know for positive, but I know Tyrell been dealing with that labrum issue, so.
This is kind of, I don't know. I would lean Golden Tate just because I like that offense better. Like it seems like they click more consistently. But yeah, I think I would end up going that. Not that I don't like Williams. They just are kind of, they're the Chargers. Like they don't seem like they're really doing much.
Yeah, just the Panthers defense, like we were talking about earlier. And that's kind of why I put those in there. Like Lions are going against the Bears and Chargers are going against the Panthers. Like two pretty bad defenses right now as far as like pass defenses, especially. Tyrell Williams has been playing his balls off, so definitely better than Travis Benjamin. I don't know. I think I would roll Tyrell over Golden Tate.
That's
Davidson,
tough for me. Like if Marvin Jones isn't playing, you saw what Golden Tate could do
yeah,
last week without
Yeah.
Marvin Jones in the
Oh yeah.
lineup, and that's very
absolutely.
enticing. I kind of lean towards Golden Tate, but don't get me wrong. If you have Tyrell Williams, I think you should be starting him because he is the number one option in San Diego, even playing hurt. He's got a torn labrum. It's a injury he played through in college, so he knows about the injury and how to deal with it and play through it. So. I still think he's a number one option, though.
Yeah. Let's keep on the wide receivers there and talk about some guys that have been underperforming this year. Jarvis Landry versus Allen Robinson versus Kelvin Benjamin. Completely underwhelming group of wide receivers
Blah.
there. All the
Yeah.
potential in the world.
Gross.
I think that honestly,
Like, do you start any of these guys?
but okay, but there's something different about one of these, and I think like Jarvis Landry and Allen Robinson. It seems like it's their quarterback. We already know these guys are really, really good. Kelvin Benjamin, it seems like it's him. Like I feel like it's him. I don't feel like it's Cam. I feel like it's him, and I don't know why.
I feel like it's that whole offense, to be honest with you, because he still didn't even get that much targets.
Yeah, I agree. I guess that's true, but I don't think that Cam has been absolutely terrible this year either.
The coaches on Carolina, they've gone on record saying that they think they might have brought Kelvin Benjamin back too soon from that ACL injury.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Too soon. He heard it in camp.
But maybe he wasn't. Because it takes some people different things.
I guess, but I mean that just seems. I mean, you've got AP coming back, at the end of the season and starts the next season. Like I know he's AP and all that, but still, like that. I don't know. In today's day and age, what are they going to do? 2 years? That just seems crazy for an ACL at this point.
Yeah, it seems like a long time. And Kelvin's a big dude. I don't know. Maybe his body just can't handle it.
I mean, he's only had 3 games in the double-digit targets.
Yeah.
With it, and so I don't know what's going on.
The Panthers suck this year. That's what's going on.
Well, yeah. That's true.
They're not good.
But you would think that because they're getting kind of destroyed in some of these games, so you would assume that there would be some garbage time or something.
Hey, you look at the second option on each of these teams too. Jarvis Landry, I'd almost rather start Devontae Parker. Allen Robinson, I'd almost rather start Hearns or Marquise Lee. Kelvin Benjamin, I'd almost rather start Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah.
And that's how bad these guys are doing right now for you.
I agree.
Yeah,
because the thing is that I think that where you said Parker is usually pulling down a touchdown, so I mean you at least have some points there. Whereas Landry, the whole point of him was that he would get like 13 targets, end up catching 9 or 10 of them for 110 yards, and if he didn't get a touchdown for you and you had a PPR, then you were fine. But now he's not getting either, and that it's not because of him. He's a great player. I think that we were all duped by the Adam Gase offense transferring over, and gross.
Yeah, it definitely
just gross.
Well, and like you were saying, like Jarvis finally had a game that was kind of like that last week. He had 14 targets, caught 11 balls for 87 yards. That's kind of what you were expecting out of him, which the dude's so talented. He's good. I think Allen Robinson's still good. That's been probably the biggest surprise out of that group of receivers right there. Would you be buying Allen Robinson for next year if you could find somebody selling him cheap?
I mean, if I could get him cheap, yeah, sure. But I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what Jacksonville does, because this was kind of their like Oakland of last year. Like we should be seeing this leap forward, and we just aren't. And it seems to be quarterback play. I mean, they also have a lot of new pieces on defense that don't seem to be gelling. So That's going to be one of those questions for next year. Like, what's going to happen to that team?
Well, hopefully they just send him over to London, get rid of him. Stupid Jaguars. I can't stand them. But all right, how about Melvin Gordon or LaShawn McCoy? Got to pick one.
I can't move away from Shady. I love him. I still love him. I miss him.
He had 130 yards on 17 carries, 7 catches for 61 yards. Had some touchdowns taken by Gillisley. Could have had a huge game last week. He's good too. And he's versatile. They use him a ton. The Bills got the Steelers at home. Steelers. I don't know. Melvin Gordon, though, you can't really argue with what he's been doing either. He's been a workhorse.
No, definitely. But I don't know. There's just something about LaShawn McCoy that just seems a little more consistent. You had that huge game out of Melvin Gordon a few weeks ago, and it's been kind of mediocre, I think. Like if I'm remembering right. I guess you've had kind of the same thing with McCoy but that's more of an injury thing. Tyrod has been playing very well, so I think they're leaning on McCoy a little bit more. I don't know. I tend to. I mean, it's a little bit of a homer thing, but I usually tend to fall toward McCoy.
McCoy, he's been playing for I think 8 years now, and 7 of those 8 years he's eclipsed 1,000 yards rushing. The only year he didn't do it was his rookie year, where he got a little over 900 yards. Like, the guy's good. Like, he gets volume in a rushing heavy offense in Buffalo. But Melvin Gordon, that offense pretty much runs through Melvin Gordon. These guys are both very, very similar right now, where they just get tons of volume, rushing, catching the ball, and they're getting touchdowns too.
Yeah, for the year, he'll go over 1,000 yards this week unless he tears his ACL in the first play. But he's at 992 yards, 10 touchdowns on the ground. Shady's got 949 with 9 touchdowns. So both very comparable.
I want to throw something out there because I think it's a very strange kind of a little parallel. But last year Melvin Gordon absolutely terrible. And Gurley was amazing. The roles have completely flipped. So what do you think about Gurley? Like, I mean,
I already told you how I feel about him, and I haven't changed that. I would still buy him. I think that the Rams could be better. They signed stupid Jeff Fisher to another 2 years, so Lord knows why they did that.
Don't get me started with that one.
Michael Strahan even was like, I don't even understand this. The guy's been around for 20-some years and has 6 winning seasons. Why are they like this? It seems like, I can't remember what he said, but it's like madness is doing the same thing over and over again when it's not working, and they're doing the same thing over and over again and it's not working. Just makes no sense. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, Jeff Fisher's stupid. I mean, we didn't get to talk about it last week, but you see that press conference or that phone conference he was having with the New England Patriots?
I don't know what actually – I heard that there were some things like with Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, well, Eric Dickerson, he just got kicked off the sidelines. But, Jeff Fisher was in, a phone interview with some reporters from New England and said something along the lines of – I can't remember who it was now.
Oh, yeah. Crap. I know what you're talking about. Danny Woodhead's a heck of a player.
Yeah. We got a really game plan for Woodhead and Bolden. That was who it was.
What?
The dude's stupid. Like, he's just not. He's dumb.
Was he being serious?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's talking about Brandon Bolden, who is still on the team, but
not playing.
Not playing. But
That can't be serious. He wasn't not joking.
Every report that I've heard has been that it wasn't a joke.
Yeah, I do remember hearing about that.
Well, if you're stupid, you shouldn't be making jokes like that because everybody's going to believe that you're just more stupid than they thought you were. So
yeah.
Whatever. Next one I got for you guys: Cam Newton or Phillip Rivers.
I just love Phillip Rivers' matchup against the Panthers more than Cam Newton's matchup against San Diego. San Diego's
Yeah.
got a underrated defense, I think. They're getting a lot of turnovers, even though they give up a lot of points and lose quite a bit. I just think San Diego's defense is more underrated than Carolina's.
Yeah, I think I have to give it to Phillip Rivers too as well. I just think that offense can get rolling, especially with they have to watch out for Melvin Gordon too. So I think he has more of an opportunity. That Panthers offense, like we mentioned earlier, it's out of sync. Something's wrong with it.
Like, I just had this funny feeling that this game could turn into a shootout on both sides of the ball. I think, like, for as bad as the Panthers are, I feel like they could get something going. And I feel like that's just a San Diego thing. Like, they get into those shootouts. And even though their defense creates turnovers and does things like that good on the ball, I'm starting Phillip Rivers in a few dailies for sure this week. I like that spot. So I would take Phillip Rivers over Cam Newton. I just really don't like Cam Newton just in general as a person and just the way he acts. He annoys me. His commercials are annoying. His face is annoying. But
Tell us how you really feel.
He's a good football player. He rides segways around town. Like, he's just, I don't know, just annoys me. Let's move on to our last slate of games, though. We got the Jets at 49ers, Falcons at Rams, Saints at Buccaneers, Seahawks at Packers, Cowboys at Giants on Sunday night, and then the Ravens and Patriots on Monday night. First one that we got within the same team. Terrence West just seems to keep doing it. Kenneth Dixon's look good. Who do you think should be starting in Baltimore, and who should be seeing more work?
I want to see a full game out of Dixon because I already know what West is. He's all right. That's about as good as it's going to get for West. I think that West is a serviceable fill-in, but week to week, no, not really. I want to see what Dixon can do.
With Dixon, I just have that feeling we're never, ever, ever going to get to see him in any sort of workhorse kind of role. He just seems like that third down, like a really, really good third down back. He's a great pass catcher. He can get the ball down the field in the rushing game too, but if you give him space, he can really make plays happen. But West is just kind of that more of a power back guy that just kind of drives it down your throat. So it's a good 1-2 punch in my mind, but it's just I just never see that role for Dixon.
What's weird about Baltimore is that we went into the season with so many questions, and we're about to leave the season with almost those exact same questions. Like we're just like
nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Like it's like okay, here's a few running backs that might be the starters next year. We've got Steve Smith. Okay, he's probably going to retire. Who's going to step up for them then? Tight end. What is it going to be next year? Because Pitta has been off and on. I don't know. There's just nothing that's like, okay, this is their running back. These are their wide receivers. Like there's just kind of the same questions that we had, 14 weeks ago. So I don't know. The Ravens are a strange team.
They are. I don't like them either. Just speaking. I don't know. Something about the Ravens. I think it's still like Ray Lewis. I always think of Ray Lewis when I think of the Ravens. Thinking we're in
the player to own in Baltimore is Justin Tucker.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Amazing kicker.
Seriously, good, very good kicker.
I think the guy has 5 50-yard field goals in the last 2 weeks.
When your most
Just
consistent
ridiculous.
fantasy player is the kicker, that means that the team has not figured out their shit.
Very true. Next question for you guys: Randall Cobb or Sterling Shepard?
This is a good question because everybody compared Sterling Shepard to Randall Cobb
Uh-huh.
at the combine and leading into the draft, even after the draft. Like he had the same kind of body structure, kind of a really like bulkier slot guy that's real quick. So it's kind of interesting that we're comparing both of these guys right now. If I had to pick one, I would probably lean more towards Sterling Shepard. I just think that the Odell Beckham factor is actually opening up a lot more opportunities for Sterling Shepard to produce fantasy wise. But on the opposite side, Randall Cobb has so much other talent that he has to compete with. I don't think he's producing as much fantasy wise because you have Devontae Adams stepping up. You've got Aaron Rodgers' favorite target, Jordy Nelson. Now he's getting Jared Cook more involved. So I think there's too many mouths to feed in Green Bay. So that's why I choose Shepard over Cobb in this one.
Yeah, I think I'd start Shepard over Cobb this week. I don't know if we're just
I,
talking like player versus player. But
both these players are kind of inconsistent, but I agree. I think that Shepard is just the more likely to get those targets and more likely to get those yards.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards Cobb. I think that something's
You
clicking
would.
something's clicking with
Boo.
that Green Bay offense where it's I think it's survival mode, and so Aaron Rodgers is trying to do everything he can, and I think Cobb is one of his more reliable players that he's going to, and I think that he's just going to be there for underneath stuff while people are on Devontae Adams and maybe Jordy Nelson too. So I think Cobb's going to get a little more open with it. So
I don't know if you
yeah,
guys have noticed this in the last couple of weeks. Teams against really good defenses like Minnesota, Seattle, Denver, if you're playing those teams, it seems like the really gadgety guys seem to produce a lot better against those defenses. Like
mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill just dominated Denver, but I don't really see Cobb as a gadgety guy so much. I'm wondering if this might be like a big Ty Montgomery kind of game,
Mm-hmm.
where he's just getting these weird like roles and producing out of it
Yeah, I could see
since
that.
Green Bay is going against Seattle. I just don't see it as a good matchup for most of the Green Bay wide receivers. So I'm wondering if a gadgety guy like Montgomery might do something.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about Ty Montgomery last week, just in our text messages since we didn't actually record a show. But I wanted to start Ty Montgomery over Wendell Smallwood in a league, and I couldn't talk myself into it that they were going to feature Smallwood. And if I would have done it, I would have lined my pockets with more cash. But I agree with you though. I think that this could be another Ty Montgomery week. He's an interesting player, like especially if he has if he's designated as a running back in your league, which like on Yahoo he can be put in either the running back or the wide receiver position. Uh, Very interesting play there. Let's talk about another Green Bay wide receiver that we kind of mentioned this last time. Michael Thomas versus Doug Baldwin versus Devontae Adams.
I think you kind of have to kick Devontae, or I'm sorry, I was thinking Devontae Parker right off the
Whoa.
bat. All right, already off to a bad start. Um, uh, wh-
all right,
I don't know. I think that it's been a long day, guys.
So Devontae Parker's out. So
Yeah, Devontae Parker is bad. He's bad.
You're off, Alex. Brent, how about you? Any of those guys?
I love Michael Thomas's matchup against the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not at home, but as we
Mm-hmm.
saw last week, Breeze can be vulnerable at home too.
Fucking Breeze. Hot.
Doug Baldwin, love his matchup against Green Bay. I really think that the Seahawks are going to put it on Green Bay in the passing game, and they're going to force Green Bay to keep passing the ball, which is opening up things for Devontae Adams. But I think we've seen in the past that Devontae Adams can be shut down pretty easily if a good cornerback's on him. So we'll see what happens. I kind of ruled Devontae Adams out of these three, but if I had to choose one, I really like Doug Baldwin's matchup the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely going Doug Baldwin over Devontae Parker.
yes,
Yes, you should.
100%. Uh, I agree with you, Brent. Like I said it last, I liked. This is terrible. I liked Brock Osweiler last week, even against the Packers. I thought that he could do so, and then the weather kind of I think affected things a little bit, but it was one of his better games I've seen. But I think Russell Wilson is going to absolutely put it on the Packers.
Well, and another thing is that with the Saints and the Packers, you have the same issue. That is, there are so many mouths to feed, and it
Mhm.
usually goes to one. And so there's going to be the big Jordy week. There's going to be the big Devonte Adams. There's going to be even Jared Cook has gotten in there. I just think that when you look at Baldwin, there's not a lot that's taking away from him other than Jimmy Graham. So
Mhm.
I think that he is a better bet just across the board because of that just how their offense works.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, Last one I got for you guys on this one: LeGarrette Blunt versus Todd Gurley. Van Cleef.
I like Gurley's matchup against Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
better than I do Blunt's because the Ravens have a good run defense. It's one of the best in the NFL. So I would tend to lean more towards Gurley in this one, even though I know play of the Rams have not been great. But I think the New England schemes for teams. So this week could be all wide receivers, and they just they try shying away from the run game because they know how good Baltimore's defense is, and just try to attack the corners. So I'm leaning towards Gurley.
Yeah.
I'm not touching Gurley.
Hmm.
I'm
I'm
almost
just
with you,
not.
Alex. I'm
I'm
almost
just
with
not.
you
I
too.
can't. Like, I feel like a beaten dog at this point. Like, I just every time I hear his name, I'm like, no, no. You have to at least put together something to show me.
Right, he hasn't shown. He had one game this season, I think, and he's just been completely awful. Like to the point where I can barely consider him for a flex option. Like he's just been so terrible. But this is a fantastic
It,
matchup.
it,
Problem is, if this game gets out of control early, they're going to switch to the passing game. The Rams, they don't give Gurley the ball enough though. That's the problem.
and the problem is that I don't know how many 30-yard games this guy's had. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, I mean,
like
seriously,
13
it's not.
carries for 30 yards.
Yeah,
He's not even getting a
it's
good average on the carries that he's
no.
getting.
And the sad fact is that it's like, okay, one of the things Rob Kelly, for instance, other than that one game, a lot of 17 for 75 or even Jordan Howard has had the same type of games. You're like, okay, he's getting the volume and he's also getting the yards. He's not getting anything. He's not getting anything, and I can't do it anymore with him. Honestly, I would probably start somebody like Jeremy Hill over him.
So, I mean, you compare him to a guy like LeGarrette Blunt, who's going against, I think, the number one rushing defense right now with the Baltimore Ravens. But at least New England can move the ball. Like they can get it into the red zone.
I don't agree with you guys. You know that.
Hmm.
I know you hate Gurley. He hasn't been good. And 11 carries for 38 yards against Patriots. It's terrible.
Dude, how long can you ride this?
Till this week when he goes for.
Can we do it again?
Yeah.
Can we do it again? All right.
What do you want to do? What do you want to take?
Ooh. Crap, let's just do that. Let's just do what you just did. LeGarrette Blount.
Okay. Easy. I take Todd Gurley.
In our league, total points.
We're doing pride scoring.
Yeah, of course. That's how we always do it.
I know that's how we always do it. Stupid, but
What's the measuring stick?
Okay, like most leagues don't use pride scoring. Like we're just for listeners out there, pride scoring we get a half point per carry, and it's fine. We'll do it. It's fine. We'll do it.
What other measuring sticks do you want?
PPR, just standard PPR league. So like
Do standard.
I mean, we could do standard. I'd rather do PPR, but
I don't
Because
care.
Blunt doesn't
It
catch
doesn't
any
matter.
balls.
It doesn't matter because LeGarrette Blunt is going to end up with more points
Oh, it
than
doesn't matter?
it does not matter. Wow, you go ahead. That's fine. PPR, standard,
Perfect.
standard PPR. I'm fine with it.
Wait,
PPR
which
is
one?
not standard.
Sorry.
We're doing
I meant like non-pride PPR.
Okay, good.
The standard of PPR.
There you go. The week
Oh my!
it's
The
week
non-standard
that-
standard.
this is going to be Todd Gurley's best game of the season. Put it in the books right now.
And that would be for about 48 yards.
His best game of the year was 85 yards on 27 rushes for 2 touchdowns.
That's still
So-
garbage from what I mean. That's still
I'm not saying
garbage.
it's great. I'm just saying that's what his best game was. He
And
has not
Garrett
been.
Blount will probably still do better than that.
LeGarrette Blount's not going to do better than that this week.
I mean, I think the guy could come high as crap and still do better than what Gurley's been putting out.
Well, that's a guarantee that he's going to be high as crap. And trust, I love LeGarrette Blount. Like this year, he's been good for my teams, but yeah, I'm taking Gurley this week. So
And Alex is rolling Blunt.
yep. I don't know how we're looking on our bets.
Nobody got
but
that, Brett.
I know.
I don't know
We're-
how we're
we're
looking
right.
on our bets, but
Honestly, we're about half and half. I mean, it's really close because you, I mean, like you ended up being right about that fucking 4-set one. Oh my gosh, that one pisses me off because he's been on 3 teams.
yeah, that was
he
a
got
lot.
cut. He got cut before the start of the season. Oh my god, it was
Yeah,
so bad.
I'll give you you should have probably had
Ugh.
that one, but
Dude, that one's the one that frustrates me the most. You got Tyrod. He's probably not going to get pulled for performance.
nope.
But then your bold predictions about Michael Floyd, Torrey Smith
backfired.
honestly,
so Torrey
the
Smith,
swing.
Torrey Smith, I feel like could still could still have some sort of season.
He has to be top 24. There's no way.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no way
probably
he gets
right
in that.
about
But
especially if Kaepernick gets benched again.
the swing though is going to be you have Tyrod as a top 12, and
Mhm.
he's dancing right around there. And Ingram, last I checked, it was 13 or 14, and you have him top 12. So those ones are the kind of the swing.
I don't feel good about it.
Yeah,
It's
because I
whatever.
mean, if you take out that one game that Ingram had that was like 50 points, I mean,
Yeah.
it would be way off. But
Yeah.
he kind of jumped back in with that.
I mean, Ingram's been okay. It's the Saints. Like, I don't know. Saints are weird.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, that wraps up our Week 14 preview. I did want to talk a little bit about our daily. I wondered if you guys wanted to talk. Last week we did a 30K DraftKings. So
Mhm.
the other fellows had talked about it on a previous podcast, but that I didn't listen to. But we set our
It was
line
a
of
much better podcast.
only spending $30,000, and who ended up winning that bad boy?
That'd be me.
That was you, Brent, huh?
I got my first victory of the season.
Fucking
Week
Dwayne
How'd that
13.
happen? How'd that happen?
Fucking
How'd that
Dwayne
happen?
Dwayne Allen, baby.
Allen.
Oh man,
How
gosh.
did Philip Dorsett do for you? Van Cleef?
Hate
He dropped the
Dwayne
long
Allen.
catch.
He had 0.
He had 0.7.
Oh my god. Oh
Get
my
off me.
god. Get off me.
I
Yeah.
can't believe that. Like the one game,
Yeah,
one
that's crazy.
freaking
That
game.
was crazy.
No other time. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you just have to use intelligence, Van Cleef.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
That ended up being pretty fun, though. Brent, you scored 82 points, so
Oh my
I
god.
scored more points doing the 30K than I do a normal 50.
yeah, that is
Wait,
true.
are we doing another? We're doing another 30K this week, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
I did
Oh man, I'm
I
excited
had
about
3
mine.
players that didn't even
Score
score a point.
Well, when you start,
One got
who'd you
cut.
start that wasn't even on a team?
4-set. Well, no, 4-set got
Four-set,
cut
yeah.
after. Did he get cut after or before?
He was cut before,
Was he?
and then he
Yeah.
got signed after.
He'd be a good play for this week.
Ugh,
Uh,
gross.
it was for
Maybe.
week
Well, let's get
14,
into it.
right?
Was what for week 14?
Well, because I got like 2 notifications for like week 13.
Yeah,
Well, there's one that says 30K.
We're only doing one week 14. Or we're only
No,
doing
we're
one,
doing
right?
2 of them. I mean, we planned on it. Brent sent out 2.
oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Wait,
okay.
No, but I got 3 notifications. 1 for week 14 and 2 for week 13.
Yeah, mine does say week 13, number 2.
Now I
Do
can't
the
find
week
them anymore.
14.
Okay, just one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run mine.
Yeah, I have a week 14 and a week. I think that's. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm in everything, so I already set lineups for all those. But do you guys want to talk about the 30K one this week? Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about any players that
Yeah.
jump
Real
off?
quick.
Just touch on one. Give me one player off your team that you're excited about, Van Cleef.
All right, let me pull up my lineup here.
Okay, never mind. You're not ready.
RG3.
Okay, I kind of like that.
He still has IR status.
Yeah.
But still, RG3. I'm excited about.
Okay, Brent.
Someone I'm excited about. I actually stacked Jared Goff and Brian Quick, both very, very cheap options going up against Atlanta's defense, who lost their number 1 cornerback for the season.
I actually have Brian Quick too on mine. I thought he was a good buy.
I take it we're locking these so that we can't.
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah.
I'd hope so. We're all.
What, man,
Because last week I was gonna pivot off of Dwayne Allen because I saw that Brent had a tight end still open, and then he texted and said, "I'm starting Dwayne Allen." So I was like, "Oh shit!" Now that he said that I can't pivot off of him, it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I would have lost, but it would have been a smart play. Anyways, Alex, who you got?
I've got. I can't even remember what his first name is, but it's Anderson from the Jets. I don't know if
Robbie?
you saw.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
I've got him too.
Like,
He's like
because
Bryce Petty's favorite target.
he was the only. It was the same play over and over and over again. Like it was just like what? God, the Jets all of a sudden became the worst team in the league. They are so bad.
They're bad.
They don't
God.
care. They looked like they literally did not care at all.
Yeah. I do want to toss out one other guy. This is wishful thinking because I have a giant man crush on him. Paul Turner, please catch a ball. Just catch a ball.
I was gonna say I had him in my lineup at one point. I think I took him out, but
He's expensive for 3,700. The guy has like a
Dude.
catch. Like
Wow,
I mean, like I've got Sammy Coates at 3,000. Like I mean, like this stuff is just crazy. Like why is he at 3,700? It just seems weird.
Remind, who do you have?
I kind of like Rex Burkhead this week. I started him.
Sexy Rexy.
I started him and Jerick McKinnon both as my running backs,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like Rex against the Browns. I liked it that thinking they could be beating up on him, and maybe they're not going to play Hill as much as they would regularly and try to work Burkhead in there. But I'm also starting Paxton Lynch, by the way. So
I'm really excited about my quarterback because we all know that he became the show, the man, the legend, Brockzilla against the Colts. Look out. Look out.
Stealing my play from last week, huh? Let's see how it is.
I actually so kind of continue. I stacked RG3 with Duke Johnson.
Duke.
I was going to have second with Corey Coleman, but I went. I wasn't able to get some other players, so I went a little bit cheaper elsewhere. So I stacked him with the Duke, and then I went with John Kuhn.
Well, I've got my great white hype of Zach Zenner in my flex.
Yes.
Look
Well,
out!
did you hear that Dwayne Washington's probably not going to be playing this week? They went as far as signing Joik Bell today.
What?
Oh,
So it sounds like it's going to be Theo Riddick and Zach Zenner going up against the
When's
Bears.
Is Abdullah just not going to come back?
they shouldn't bring him
Sounds like
back.
Like
They've talked about him being ready here soon, but
Why don't you think you should bring him back? They could be going.
yeah,
to the
they could
playoffs.
be in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Like I think that they
Just
need him.
do with what you got. I don't know.
He was performing when he was in the room.
Yeah, he was
He
good.
was, but if he's not ready, like
You don't want
I
him hurt, do you?
no, because that's me being selfish. Like I'm not gonna make the playoffs, so I don't care if I don't want him to come back and do awesome. Like
This is what you could have had. I hope he does. He just needs more salt in the wound.
Well, you still want to get 5th place. You don't want to get last. Like, what if Justin ends up beating you? What if you're dead last?
I hope he is.
Dead last.
I'll quit.
Roman,
gonna
I want
quit.
you dead
Oh,
last.
oh.
I need you dead last.
I'm gonna beat Brent this week. So
Oh God! If you
You
hand
could still finish
hand
dead
Van
last
Cleef-
if you.
if you hand Van Cleve the number 1 pick,
Oh.
you son of a bitch!
Oh God, I need it
You
so bad.
son of a bitch!
I'll quit everything. All right, guys.
You can't though. Okay, we'll talk
I'm
about
done.
this.
We're not talking about this anymore. I hate fantasy football.
So anyway,
I don't
enjoy
even know,
our
I don't
fantasy
even know why I do this podcast. It's a waste of my time. But thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Remember, follow us on Twitter, 4Horsemen Pod. Hit us up on email, 4horsemenpod@gmail.com. Peace.